How-to video number 5, make your own croquis. This week, we will be making bodies that you can go and use to plan out your drawings for the following week's class, where you will be doing 3 bodies of the 3 comical strippers in the song You Gotta Have a Gimmick. Now, a croquis is a already drawn out outline that you can go and stick under your piece of paper to go and plan clothing you're going to draw later. The ones you see on the left are a pair that are considered fashion croquis. Fashion croquis, you can get a lot of those. You can get those pre-printed on Amazon. All of them have legs like space aliens. They're not really all sizes and genders. They all kind of look like this. They're little stick bodies. And while stick figures are a good way to go, to start off with, we want to get you to something probably a little closer to the right side one, which not only is traced off of an actual human's body. Oh, by the way, taking photos of your actors and tracing an actual body is a really great way to know if the costume you're designing is going to work on that actor. But the other thing is, you're more likely to have that kind of actor, and it's more, real people are funnier than weird little stick people. And since this assignment will be for you to go and make 3 sexy but funny women, each different from one another, that's what we're going to try and do, is get you to the point where you can go and come up with a body of your own to make the kind of figure that you want to go and have for those 3. So we're just going to spend a whole week figuring out the bodies of those 3 girls. And then the following week, I'm going to show you how to draw. Now, to help you in this process, I'm going to go and deliver a little bit of a mini lecture I once gave at Costume College called Rendering with or Without Drawing Talent. Now, as you can see from here, what I do is I do start with a stick figure. I will often go and try and get just a basic body gesture, the kind of thing I want. And then I will add a little bit to it, and I will add a little bit more, and I will fiddle with it, and I will fiddle with it more. And each time I get a cheap piece of regular paper, copy paper, and I will take the body and I'll go over the next layer and the next layer and the next layer and the next layer until I get something that I kind of like. And that's why I use cheap paper. Now, let's see, how do I make this go next? I'm going to go like that. In some cases, if I'm doing a period piece, I will use a research image to get an idea for a pose. This is an example of something I did for a show called Les Liaisons Dangereuses, which is the basis of the movie Dangerous Liaisons. And you can see on the left, here's a lovely fashion illustration from about 1780-something to 1790. And I wanted that approximate pose, and I tried to draw something a kind of like that. I don't think that one I actually traced, as you can see, but sometimes I do for the body, because if I find a body that's already good, I go for that. I then took that basic body and started to trace over that one. I trace over my own stuff in layers, and each time I fix something that I want to do differently. So the poodle bit the dust, and the character is now holding a blank playing card and a little reticule, a little baglet like the ones we were making earlier in class. And I've made a much fancier dress on it. This is one where I got it pretty good on the first time. You can see, however, over here on the left, I started doing a ruffle like that original dress had, and then I decided, no, I wanted a little pointy thing. And sure enough, I drew a little pointy thing. And boy, did I have a lot of fun actually making that when I actually made the dress. But it looked cool. Then I take the good drawing And I don't wreck it by immediately painting on it. No, I make a copy of it onto another piece of paper, and I put outlining on it so that it has a little bit stronger graphic look. And I stick on little things that are the story, the name of the character, the name of the play. And in this case, because of the theme of the play, everybody was made into different playing cards. And you see here, I then have her holding the playing card that she is on. I then copy that illustration onto an off-white color of cardstock. And then that is the one I paint on. And if my painting goes south and looks really terrible, I can make another copy onto the cardstock and have another one to work with without damaging the good work that I did before. So what you want to do is you want to go for the body of the character first. Clothes can follow, but try and get a pose that is kind of like a body. And the result was you will have a much better looking thing with your costume. Now, if you have your legs are too short when you do your drawing, a lot of times I would get the proportions wrong. Well, because that first drawing you don't really care about, it's just there for one of the layers, you can then change where the feet go and go over that. And you can play with that more. The hands get better, so on and so forth. Each time you get it a little better. Then I print it out, and you can see I've added little bits of outlining and spots. And I print it onto cardstock with all the little decorations on this and paint it in. And this is a serving wench lady thing. And I make it with this big foofy thing from a hat that I saw somewhere. You can see the feet really didn't work out, and I kept changing the shape of the apron to get what I wanted. And then I end up with that. Now, let's see. Now this one mostly came out real good, but you'll notice that the arms kept moving around and all that sort of thing. And I did stuff with the feet, and it was kind of messy. And some of the stuff stayed, but the next layer got a little bit better and a little bit different. And you don't have to try to color directly on your original good final drawing. Copy the good drawing onto cardstock and paint the copy in. So if the painting goes bad, you can always copy another to try again. So, for instance, this is my first drawing. This is the second drawing. This is the third drawing. This is the final drawing. This one, just really the body, a little bit of the shape of the dress, and into there. Sometimes I get it in just 1 or 2 drawings. Sometimes it's like 6 or 8. I keep tweaking it and tweaking it. Sometimes I go and find some period artwork that is an appropriately shaped body for what I'm trying to do. Sometimes even with partly an appropriate shaped costume. These are both ones where I had drawings by Jacques Callot as my basis, because he did a lot of drawing of the style of theater that particular play was written in, and some of the characters that are in it. So I used that, and then, as you can see, I fiddled it with it, as I'm quite sure that in Jacques Callot's time, they did not have fishnet stockings and garter belts. You can just use parts of the body and then go from there. Another nice thing about going and working this way is you can take your drawing and flip it. One of the things I sometimes do is I will go and make a copy of something and then cut it out to be an outline and flip it around the other direction and use it to make a front and back that are exactly proportional to the parts of the front and back, because it's exactly the same position, just seen from the other angle. Another thing it's useful for is, like here, I had basically a very similar outfit. So I take the one drawing and I make a copy of it, and then I go with whiteout to change. And so we have the dress that Madame de Rosemonde wears through most of the story, and the dress that she wears when she's in mourning later. And so you have both of these kinds of things, and I don't have to necessarily redo everything because I can trace over the one. And here again, this is where I've traced something, and it's just the two different colorings in the two different costumes that he wears in Act 1 and Act 2. So, the project that this is all going to be used for, I think I should give you a little heads up as to what it is so that you have an idea of the kind of female bodies you want to create. And so here goes.